Okay, so heart eyes, right? That's what we came about with for this one. It is the new film from Josh Ruben. Ruben, I think. Yeah. It is written by Michael Kennedy, Christopher Landon, and Phillip Murphy. We have on producing duties, right? We've got Greg Gilreath, Adam Hendricks, Christopher Landon, and executive producing. We've got Melanie Turner, Chris Stone, Phillip Murphy, Michael Kennedy, and Greg Barber. And co-production, we have Pamela Harvey White, Axel Payton, right? So Jay Wadley handled the music. Stephen Murphy is on cinematography, with Brett W. Buckman editing the piece. All right, so Brett Howe, Stu Turner, and Mary Vanu all were down with the casting. Production design, we have Rob Bavin. Jandra Watson is costume design. Hair and makeup, we have Nikki Addington, Emily Beasley, Ryan Curran, Mitzi Doney, Stefan Knight, Jackie Long, Amy McLennan, Luna Miller, Lisa Shearer, Shannon Sinton, Laura Stables, Holly Vander Park, Danielle Woodley, V. Gulliver. Okie dokie. So yes, all of those took care of that. We also have got stunts, right? There's Alex Bailey, Hannah Cameron, Bryn Henry, Daniel Jackson, Jonathan Larkin, Steve McQuillian, Mark Trotter, Nicole Tweedle, Mark R. Black, and Akiri Nakanishi. Okay, so our cast, who handled their business here? Well, people, we have got yeah, IMBD is the weirdest thing. Ain't gonna lie. It really is. So let's go with Wick. Right, so Ali McCabe is played by Olivia Holt. Right? We have got who else do we have? Oh, yes. Ali's best friend Monica is played by Gigi Zumbado. Then there is Ali's boss, Crystal Kane, played by Michaela Watkins. Right, then there's Jay Simmons, played by Mason Gooding. We've got Detective Zeke Hobbs, played by Devon Sawa. Detective Jenny Shaw, played by Jordana Brewster, who I'm watching and I'm thinking, I know this woman from somewhere. I can't pinpoint it. Yeah, Jordana Brewster. Right, there's Chief Richard Hartley, played by James Galen. Adeline Garrett, played by Lauren O'Hara. Ali's ex, played by Ben Black. There's the IT guy, David, played by Yoshan Ann. Fran, who works on the front desk, played by Bronwyn Bradley. Tommy, Crystal's assistant, played by Chris Parker. Right, so that's probably our main cast. Okay, so the gist of the story: when the Heart Eyes killer strikes Seattle, a pair of co-workers pulling overtime on Valentine's Day are mistaken for a couple by the elusive couple hunting killer. Now they must spend the most romantic night of the year running for their lives. So that is the gist, right? And I think, you know what I mean, like, when you look at what this is and you put it into that whole Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Final Destination category of films, it's fine, right? It's not the worst thing you will watch, right? It's not the best thing you watch, but it takes care of 90 minutes, let's just say. Right? There's bits of it that you're like, that's fun, right? There's some good shots. The bit through the woman's mouth, right, was a nice little camera shot, So we have things like that work very well. Like this, I think the story is like, when you look at it, right? So someone who's killing couples mistakes these two people for a couple. That's all like, okay. Now, I think for it to really work, you cannot have any emotional connection between our two leads. You don't want them to like each other in any way. If Ali and Jay hate each other, well, not even just hate each other, but they're just friends, then it makes the whole mistaken for a couple thing be even more like, oh, damn, okay. But the minute you have them kind of like each other, then they're not really being mistaken for a couple, right? Because they're a potential couple. You know what I mean? They're two people that are looking to hook up. You know what I mean? So it's like you fit into the criteria of what this person is killing. So it's like, it kind of loses the emphasis of the film, right? I hate it when they put like marketing in films, because it's always terrible. It's always terrible. And we start off with, Ali going about, oh, she's going to lose her job. It's this campaign and it didn't. And you see the campaign and you're just like, yeah, I mean, it's insane. Like, in the face of all of these killings and everything like that, the campaign makes no sense, right? Or if you are looking to tie it into that, you would do it differently to what she did. So her, like, them feeling hard done by, you're just like, what? And even as a best friend, right? If your best friend did this and you saw it, you would be like, yo, I mean, I got you. It's well put together, but why the fuck did you go with this concept? You know what I mean? Like, that's what would normally happen. So that whole front part is very odd, right? It is very odd. The whole, like the whole bit where Jay's going, oh, I'll book us a table at the restaurant, and then we're like, oh, I didn't know what kind of restaurant this was. You are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you would know what this is. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that make no sense. And I'm jumping over the place here, but there's things that you don't want to say and things you can. But we have a bit where he talks about when he's leaving, right? He's leaving the next day. But then we have this whole thing at the airport at night, which, what the fuck? Like, that is inconsistency 101 right there. That was an odd one. That was an odd one. But yeah, you know, there's things about the film, and there's definitely, I think, what we then get to towards the end, you are kind of, there's, I think there are definitely hints at the start when you factor in where they were to then where a shot comes from, you know? So I think there are things that are hinting to this thing. So the ending, you know, you're like, okay. What does kind of go against it is the whole dating app thing. Because then that doesn't really make any sense. Like, the dating app thing doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You know? You are scratching your head about that. Right? So, yeah, there's things in the film that you're just like, yeah, not bad. And then other things where the story is a bit all over the place, right? It's kind of feels like it's trapped in, if it wants to be like a straight up horror, if it wants to be a satire, right? It, you know, what the film wants to be. And then the kind of humor it wants to have in it. Like, the whole vibrator thing is just... it's just like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? It's kind of lazy. We've seen it so many times. And who would leave their vibrator like that? Right? You know what I mean? Like, using a whatever. No one... Does anyone give a fuck? Right? Does anyone care? So it's not like this crazy, oh my God, sure, he's got a vibrator. You know what I mean? But it's just the placement and all of that is just a bit weird. You know what I mean? It's a bit weird. I don't know. You'd probably have to ask, you know, a few women to be like, yo, would you do that shit? You know what I mean? But it seems odd, right? As well as the drive-through bit, again, seems kind of odd, right? Like, with everything going on, people are... It's a drive-through. You got cars. People not just driving away, right? And we do the thing of seeing something and then waiting for ages, right? There's a lot of that, right? Instead of just acting. And I'd say, okay, maybe the first time you might be a little shocked. After that point, you would think, now we're running for our lives, right? So there's no do something and then pause, right? It's act. You know what I mean? Act. Right? And if you have an issue with blood, then that needs to be all the way through, not in select moments. But, you know, like, the acting is fine, right? Acting is fine. I think the best bits are probably, I think Gigi Zambardi is good as Monica, as that best friend, understanding of what that best friend role is within this film, right? I think Michaela Watkins is good as Crystal Kane, the boss, you know? Olivia and Mason, you know, they're good with the roles. It's just, yeah, I don't think they're given a whole heap to really shine with them. You know, like their characters are kind of one time. I mean, there isn't a lot of depth within anyone, really. You know, but and also like the whole police joke, right? They would have heard that so many times, so they would know what that is. You know what I mean? Like they would know what that is. It's kind of like that's not the first time they'd heard that shit, right? But as I said, if you're a fan of, you know, these teen slasher type of things, you know, the screams, the Final Destinations, the I Know What You Did, and all of those kind of stuff, Totally Killer, all of that jazz, right? Which Holt and Mason have both been in as well. It fits, right? You would probably dig this, you know? It's not gonna be something that I think you're talking about 10 years on, right? It's not moving the needle, but it will carry you through 90 minutes. You know what I mean? It wouldn't surprise me if they try and do more, right? Because there's probably different ways you can spin it, right? But yeah, if you're a fan of the genre, Heart Eyes may very well work for you, and you can watch it on all your favorite VODs. So yeah, there you go, Heart Eyes.